So yeah, we got some bad orders to show you here this week, guys. So I figured it's not a hate one, but you guys always see all these great offers, and I'd like to
Mhm.
showcase those. But after Geezer was on the round table, we talked about
Not
is anything
glamorizing.
glamorized? I just I thought, well, we should probably show you because it's not like everything I see is amazing. I just get enough volume in my market to be able to pick. But at the same time, I need to note that it's not like DoorDash. I'm not seeing 200 offers to accept 10. But it can be like within a minute, I can see an offer that's amazing local, and I can see one for the same pay that's like going to go 50 miles.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's not Curry. Curry has a way of doing an increase, but they let the customers input the price they want. So, I mean, we get kind of like I get used to things. Like I would do a lot of Sherman Williams. They just must have a standing order because it seems to be what it is kind of thing all the time. It's pretty good. But I'm
Mhm.
going to show you guys some ones that there aren't a chance I'd take. Geezer sent some really bad roadies, and I have one from last week that I just want to really hit into. What's up, Trader? What's up, John? How you guys?
And don't forget Bungie. And sorry if it looks like I'm
Oh yeah,
looking up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't
Um,
know the order they'll go in because
okay.
let me see. And first of all, too, I wanted to tell everybody, you guys know that I have done over 1,000 curries now. I've never self-assigned even one. And it used to be your rating is based on the last five. So if you have like a little struggle with one or you get a 4-star and you're like, dang, you can just do five more and it gets bumped off. It's not like any of the other ones. It gets done quick. But even I got this in my app and I've never done it. It says, this was a one of those things where when you open the app, you got to hit. I understand, but it said self unassigning causes delays. Violations will be issued for all future unassignments. I don't even know what that means. A violation will be issued. I'm gonna have to ask the team this because I don't know. I've never even unassigned one. So to me, this is it's pretty crazy. Clearly, it went out to everybody, so I'm not offended. I want to know what it is. Because I do know that I've told you guys do not self unassign. I've said that since the beginning. Don't do it. It's not like DoorDash or a food delivery app. If you take one of these, take it. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, I think I guess the way I loaded them up, we'll start with some bad roadies. So, and I mean the one I'm gonna be
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah, I remember this one. Okay, go ahead.
okay. So you go walk us through this because
Alrighty. Now I'm going to give y'all personal history. I've been active on the Roadie app right at about 5 years now. I was onboarded October 2018, and I've seen Roadie really change in terms of what it used to pay, and it ain't what it used to be, y'all. Not to mention, in terms of driver support, it used to be you could call Atlanta and speak to someone like I'm talking to Steve right now. In fact, sometimes you would be able to renegotiate a rate based if you had a valid argument and all. But now Roadie has devolved to the levels of DoorDash. Now, this one here, from Columbia to Prosperity. Um, Prosperity is in the next county. And as you can tell, the miles is 27, so you're going off into the sticks a bit. $59 to lug 1,300 pounds is an absolute joke. I mean, that's slave labor.
I mean
There.
if it gets over 1,000 pounds, I don't care if you're going a mile. This is me. I
Mhm.
mean you need to be in the $100 range.
Easily.
I mean just for
I'm
doing anything with it.
right. And since you like curry so much, something like this, if I saw this on Curry based on my side of the ledger,
Yeah.
being carrier, that's easily for me a $200. I'm bidding at least 200, more than likely 250 on it.
Right.
Now I may not get it, but if I get it, then I'm gonna make some money on it. And
Right,
I'm
but I also know you well enough that you're not like going you understand the reality of other people are bidding too, so you're
Mhm.
keeping it realistic. What I need to make on this?
Right. And just for whatever it's worth, in my situation, a lot of times what happens is some dumbass thirsty will bid low, and then they get there and see what it is, and then it's like,
Yep.
and then Curry will come back to me and say, "Hey, are you still interested in that?" And then yeah.
With these though, the thing I don't like about the roadies either, because I'm with you. I was on roadie when there was work to be done that was pretty good, but it actually wasn't with UPS yet.
No, it was just roadie.
They were standalone. Yeah, so they were in that honeymoon period, and they were their own app and all that good stuff. But with the roadies, I don't like that they call it a bid, because at least on my side, I don't know if Lake Curry, it's got its own side for the bigger vehicles, but you're not bidding. You're just saying, yes, I'll take that offer, and then you're waiting to see if you get it.
Right, based on proximity, based on your past history.
Yeah.
I mean, the offer.
My point is the offers are so bad that this shouldn't be a bidding system. I mean, like, if I'm accepting it, just give it to me, or put me into the round robin, or whatever you're doing, and make it instant, because it's not like it's a good offer where I'm going, gosh, I hope I get that.
Well, here's something that's even crazier. You'll get somebody to show up in a Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Or an SUV, or a Ford Ranger, and they end up having to turn around and leave. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen Priuses show up for things that it not even could it be done on the roof, kind of thing. It's ridiculous. So what about this guy here?
Okay, Lexington to Chapin. That's kind of the same thing. That's deep Chapin down by the water. And you're talking 600 pounds, $45, slave labor, same thing. That's just a bad offer. Again, if I were to use a Curry app, I would bid at a minimum 150 at a minimum.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, how many miles is it?
It's actually 19 miles, but it's actually longer.
Yeah, but it also says 46 minutes too, and that tells me a lot. That tells me it's not an easy drive.
No, because you're going way off into you get up there, and then you got to drive back in. So it's one thing that people never talk about this though, but the apps use what's called the straight line method, meaning that in math, if you always the shortest point between the shortest distance between two points is a straight line, and that's what they do. They base that on a straight line method, and not the actual topography or contours of the route, or whichever way you want to use, whatever word you want to use though. But the actual miles is probably more like about, I want to say, between 25 and 30 miles.
Which is,
and that doesn't include traffic.
That's ridiculous too, because they're showing you the route. They know how many miles that is. They don't need to go start to end. You don't have a boat.
You're not driving a Mach 5 where you hit
so J. I mean, like, that's weird. Yeah. But I don't even know if I'd do it for your 150.
Well, I mean, 150.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it would depend on my day, but it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of time. I guess it's different for you. I mean, like, when you see 600 or 1,200 pounds, does that mean like one or two pallets to you? Or is it? Are they going to be
not even pallet
items that are going to be like, like, oh, how am I going to get this in? And
well, that looks like potting soil.
Okay,
that looks like potting soil. If it's like 50 pounds each, then it's probably cement, or potting soil, mulch, something to that effect.
Okay.
So.
But they're not even palletized, so you're literally loading up every bag.
It could very well be. I mean, it depends on the store. Okay. If it's another home improvement place, it could come on a pallet. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that this is probably going to be carted out to you, and so you're looking at 15 bags of something.
Yeah.
More than likely 15 bags. So that's why I would say 150.
Yeah. Then what else do we got here?
Oh boy. Lexington to the middle of nowhere. Estill is down by the Georgia border.
Does that say 96 miles?
Yeah, it's actually more than that though. But I mean, Lexington to let's see, that's 321, and then you take 321 down. That's taking the back road scenic route there. I know Estill is off of 321, but you probably have to go take a 95, 26 to 95 to avoid some of the fifes on that road, because you got some speed traps. But anyway, imagine a DoorDash order, $10. You got 10 DoorDash order 10 miles for $4. That's basically what this is.
So I know that the details aren't here, but I mean, what
It's
was
medication.
this?
It's medication.
Okay, so it's a single medication delivery.
Yeah, single medication.
Like it wasn't
delivery.
multiple deliveries. Okay, so
no, it's probably going to a facility that's contracted with Roadie.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's a chain. It's a chain of them, Pruitt Healths. And
wow, that pay is offensive.
Yeah, like I said, imagine a 10-mile DoorDash order for $4. That's basically what you're talking about.
Yeah, or I mean, yeah, to me, that's just trash.
Oh, this is even better.
Well, this one's less miles at least.
Yeah, it's in Camden. It's going up the road,
but it's 2,100 pounds.
Yeah, and the heaviest item is 150 pounds, man.
Wow.
I mean, if somebody's thirsty enough, I mean, somebody show up in their Honda Accord or their Nissan Altima and take a shot at it. Or, but so you said a Ranger, somebody would show up in a Ranger with something like this. It's not likely somebody's going to show up in a Sprinter van or box truck. It's not likely. And so, there's another option. If someone came up there with a trailer, a trailer hitched up to their F-150 or even a Ranger, that's possible. But I mean, 2,100 pounds for $44, and you risk straining your back or hurting your shoulder or something to that effect.
I mean, not damage, but the exuberant wear and tear that 2,100 pounds is doing. I mean, look, if it's paying enough, like Geezer and I have said, like run your cars into the ground, put as many miles on them as you can. But there's a limit of like, dude, don't put 2,200 pounds in my car and then.
Right.
I mean, it is beating the car a little more. It's making your gas mileage where everything goes downhill.
Right. Well, again, something like this, 2,100 pounds. No, I'm looking for 250 at a minimum.
I would want to show up for this in a Yugo.
Oh boy. Okay, for those of y'all who are not old enough to know about the Yugos, imagine a Hyundai Excel. But that's going back as well, Hyundai Excel. But imagine a Kia Soul showing up for this. And somebody may show up with a Kia Soul for something like this as well. A Yugo.
I'm from Michigan, and it was really odd when I was in high school. There was a Yugo blown off the Mackinac Bridge. It was really sad. The person died, obviously.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, no, they were crossing the bridge, and a wind was enough to pick it up and flip it into the water.
Oh man! Wow.
So it's just those things are just very. They're probably collector's items. I don't know now. I don't know.
And this is considered extra large going from Columbia to Hartsville. Okay. Just for the lay of the land, if Hartsville is off of I-20, it's kind of in the sticks as well. But there's some factories and plants there. But the fact of the matter is that you're going from Columbia, like in a more popular area, out to Hartsville. So you're driving about an hour and 15 minutes, $46, even though it's some lightweight stuff.
And then needing something back.
No, that's one rate.
That's what I'm saying is that not on top of this. We talk about hoping you get something back. On this one, you're going to need something back.
Right, and it's not likely of late catching something out of Hartsville on other apps or even Florence. It's just not likely, or even Camden. If it were 2 months ago, I would say you could take a chance at parlaying that. But even then, you're talking 75. If you're talking dollars per mile, 75 cents a mile for this. Yeah.
So I think this is your bungee.
No, that's actually point pickup.
Oh, okay. This one's point pickup. Okay.
Yeah, and this is actually in town. It's a tire order. On point pickup, I mean it's really, it can be shameful with some of the ones that you do on point pickup. The only way that you can make point pickup work is if you catch two of them. to
See, I
whatever
still have
location.
point pickup. I don't even think I've opened it in probably 6
Hmm.
months.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
just stopped. I mean, and it wasn't even like then. It was still good. There was
Mhm.
when I first on board, I'm like, I'll try this,
Right.
but it burnt out with me quicker than Viho. So
I'm thinking that it was probably one tire, but are you gonna go? I mean, this is like a DoorDash order. This is just as bad as a DoorDash order. And you see,
right.
and I've seen those thirsties show up, man, in their thirst mobiles for something like this. Um, and they think they're really doing something by taking a tire of $6 to a tire shop.
Yeah, I
Now,
actually, you know what? When I was at the tire shop last week, when I have the insurance on my tires because we're doing
mhm,
curry and all this kind of work, I get a lot of
mhm,
nails in them. It's something that
mhm,
happens a decent amount. Usually they
yeah,
just get fixed, but I was had to sit there longer than normal, and I actually watched. I don't know if they were roadie people or if they were point pickup or what, but I watched a lot of people come into the discount tire I was at
mhm.
who were
There
bringing a
was.
tire or taking one, and I could tell, like, dude, what are you doing? Like they were waiting a while to get it.
Mhm.
They were waiting in the line of people who were waiting to get their cars serviced with a tire, and I could tell. I just knew, like, you're doing that stuff from the app that pays crap.
Mhm.
So
There are a couple of apps that where it does pay if you can get either two or three of them, or but usually you've got to stack it with something in order to make it worth your while. And this is my thing, always stacking orders across multiple apps. If you got to be strategic, or it's not going to make it worth your while.
yeah. So then this
Okay,
is
this is
this is
Bungie.
the bungee.
Yeah, Bungie. Oh, those motherfuckers, man. Um, and I mean, 1,600 pounds.
Yeah.
I think there's something on the other side with that one. It may have been sheetrock or
Let me
something like
see.
that. Uh, there's another one. No. Okay, let's go back then. But it's along the same
No,
lines,
no,
though.
no.
Okay, that's another one. That's another Bungie. That one's even worse. 2,500 pounds, two people. They're going to get paid $48.65 each. Yes. And Bungie thinks that you're supposed to show up there within 15 minutes of the start time and no later than 15 minutes, and do everything according to what the drop off instructions are so that you can be paid maybe $48.65. Most times you don't get paid that amount. It's usually a tick less.
Who
Yes.
who takes this?
Some dumbass thirsty motherfuckers. That's who take them.
But you don't. But they won't even be like, if they're thirsty, it's not going to help. They're going to owe more money by the time they're done.
Well, no, they just tell you to shut the fuck up and mind your own business. That's what they usually do.
Well, I
Now,
mean,
I
yeah.
know I'm
No,
being me now when I'm saying
well,
stuff
nobody
like
wants to
that.
be corrected. I get that, but I mean, at the same time, I just don't get how somebody would look at this and go, "Well, I guess we got to do it."
That is the mindset of some people. Is something is better than nothing. That's what they say down south. I don't know in Colorado, but down south they will say that. They will try to rationalize it by saying that.
Well, I mean, something is better than nothing, but you got to
That
figure. But you got, yeah, but this, or you got to figure out if it is even something.
right.
Like, to me, this isn't something. This isn't.
No, it's nothing.
This is a problem. This is
Okay, that's the sheetrock. Yeah.
okay.
That's 36 things of sheetrock. So that was probably one with the $50 one, and that was by yourself that you had to unload 36 pieces of sheetrock.
See, in my experience, I don't know about in yours, but when I usually get to these places, people are cool. They usually see you struggling a little bit, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Hey, can I help?" Maybe.
I mean, maybe not. I
I
don't
mean, I
really
guess it
get it.
depends on if somebody's free, but like usually those type of people aren't like ignoring you. Oh, I don't want to help him.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
either, if they're busy, they're busy. But if they see you struggling, I've had people several times come over and go, "Can I help?" And actually, I don't even need the help. It's unloading
Well,
paint. It's my job. I'm like, no, I got it, man. Thank you, though.
now with that one, I think if that was by your now I've handled like 30 pieces of sheetrock, and I made like 180 on that. And there were guys at the construction site who helped take them out my van, but they were loaded by forklift, and they were so glad to see my van because people had showed up in cars and pickup trucks and SUVs, and couldn't handle that. They
Yeah.
needed, you know, that's the other thing. I keep bringing this up though, but a lot of times people will show up in the wrong vehicles, and I did a segment about staying in your lane, and but I understand they see the dollar amount and they figure, what the fuck, I'll take a chance.
Yeah. I'm going to find a Yugo. I'm just going to do it for pure spite and humor. And I'm just going to see the biggest orders and be like, well, I got to get it in that thing.
Yeah.
And see if somebody even tries to help me.
Oh, I know what a card that would be. They'll make the same laughs. Imagine trying to do that in a smart car.
Right.
That's about this. That's about the same engine capacity, and all that stuff. Yeah,
a Yugo might win in a race.
It'll be a close race.
And I don't know if you wanted this to show this receipt.
Yes, I did. I wanted to show just how exploitative Bungie is, and Roadie for that matter. A lot of us have talked about, at least in my market, about how these companies are getting over on us. And so this is where you really have to be strategic at what you're doing, because you got to understand they're taking big cuts. And if you can see there where it says home delivery taxable, they charge the customer $85. I happen to do this order, and you can call me a thirsty fool or not, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you how much I actually got paid ultimately, though. The order showed up on Bungie for $46 and change. This was early Saturday morning, and I'm thinking, okay, it wasn't that heavy. And I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck? I mean, I can use the gas money, all right? Yeah. I was paid $46, moved the furniture to the guy's place, but he tipped me $30. So I made $76 on this particular order. But the thing is, $85 is what they charged the customer, but Bungie was only going to pay me $46. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And a lot of these, and in fact, one of the first Bungies I did with another guy.
And if you guys notice, like, if you see at the top, you see 537 for the item, but then you see 8570. They don't even break that apart into any kind of description either. Like, hey, we're Bungie and we only give the driver half of this.
No, and that's the other thing.
They literally, because the old me before gig work would have thought that you got that whole 8570, that's the delivery price.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, just human nature in me would have just said, well, the logic is that's what he is being paid.
And we're not. And
no.
That's the thing.
No.
And, even with Curry, for his somewhat decent paying, if you can get the right opportunities with Curry, I don't know if Curry gives a breakdown of what you're being paid, but they don't. The unfortunate thing with many of these apps, and this is your thing, Steve, transparency. There is no transparency. You don't know what the fuck you're being paid. You don't know what the breakdown is.
By the way, guys, the difference between what Geezer sees Curry and what I see and what most of you see is a big one, because he's on the bidding side of Curry. Like he makes bids. Like I'll show you here in a minute. I just have offers come through and they're 100% transparent. So, but like, here's my roadies, and I got to put this up because look, guys, this is how my map looked on, well, I think it was Friday. Okay. And that's fairly normal. I opened it up an hour later. It was the same, if not more. I opened it up an hour later. Nobody was taking any of these. And I want to show you near the end of the day what Roadie wanted to pay for something. Now, if you don't know the Colorado landscape, where it says end is putting you deep into the foothills. And on a Friday, coming back at 5:30 even get back near start time, it's going to be about 4 hours, 3 hours. Wow. But they wanted 11 deliveries done, 79 miles in this pattern on Friday traffic, leaving start point at 3:30. Everything couldn't have been worse. They say, again, like Geezer was saying, and we were talking about it on this app, 3:35. I can tell you, not a chance. I couldn't do 3 hours and 35 cents, or 3 hours 35 minutes is what I could do on a Saturday to do this trip, because after you see where it says golden and then it goes into the mountains, then you see blue sky and end, that's where you can only do 20, 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
You're going up into the foothills. You're going up, up, up. And I'm just saying, like, this to me this isn't a bad offer. This is a money loss. I would spend it all in gas. I mean, I'd kill an entire tank of gas to do this, even though that it shouldn't. But